Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to a special review for the brand new box set from Stevie Nicks, Complete Studio Albums and Rarities. It's a 10 CD box set. It just came out on Friday, July 28th of 2023. 8 solo albums plus 2 CDs of rarities in there, put out by Rhino Records. We're going to break it all down here in just a bit, but before we get started, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it, of course. And as an added bonus, if you turn on notifications, you'll stay up to date on really cool things like this, where we're going to talk about and break down the new Stevie Nicks box set, Complete Studio Albums and Rarities. So I just kind of realized that 50 years ago in 1973, Stevie got her start putting out her first album with the duo Buckingham Nicks. Of course, that is Lindsey Buckingham, her then boyfriend at the time. Unfortunately, that album was a commercial failure, and it's yet to ever get another reissue because it's available on vinyl, but it never got a CD, cassette, or reissue or anything of that nature. I would have loved for it to have appeared in this box, but unfortunately it does not. Then with a chance encounter with Mick Fleetwood at the studio in 1975, both her and Lindsey Buckingham joined Fleetwood Mac, this time to much greater commercial success. The 1977 album Rumors, we all know that album. It is a classic. What I didn't know is that this thing has gone on to sell over 40 million copies worldwide. So I mean, a huge commercial success that they had, all of which of course helping to launch Stevie Nicks in her solo career in 1981 with her debut album Belladonna. That one would go on to sell 4 million copies in the US. And then between 1981 and 2014, she released 8 total studio albums, and that's what is contained in here. You can even see them on the back side there. So that's what we're talking about, those 8 solo albums plus the 2 discs of rarities that are in here. Now all of this is done in and around her time in Fleetwood Mac. So she releases Belladonna in 81, The Wild Heart in 83, Rock a Little in 85. She's doing a lot in the 80s. The Other Side in 89. Then 5 years until Street Angel in 1994. Trouble in Shangri-La was 2001. Big time in between there. 10 years until we get In Your Dreams. This one here's the last real solo album, because the follow-up after that, which is called 24 Karat Gold Songs from the Vault, which came out in 2014, as the title states, it's all older songs that she dusted off, completed, and then released. So it's been quite some time since we've gotten brand new Stevie Nicks. Now, the first 2 albums, Belladonna and The Wild Heart, have both been reissued as deluxe editions. So Belladonna has a 3 CD deluxe edition. The Wild Heart is a 2 CD deluxe edition. I'm going to touch on that in a bit more here as to how that relates to the rarities, because to me, where these are all found and that sort of stuff do make a difference to this box set here. So while I would expect that the other albums beyond these 2, because these were remastered, I would expect the other ones to be remastered, but I will say this, I've not actually found any corroborating evidence online about it. Even Rhino Records, who put the box set together and released it, does not listed in any of the press information when you go to their website to read about it. Now, I've heard other people say that certain albums within here and or all the remaining ones are remastered, and I would venture a guess and say yes, I think that it is. There's definitely brighter sound. They're louder than the jewel case editions that I've got there behind me. So I would think that's the case, but I can't say that for 100%. So if you were only buying these because they were remastered, just look into it a little bit yourself. Maybe you'll find the right information that you need. But the box set does contain 2 additional discs, which are just simply called rarities. It features 23 songs that are additional to this box, and as they're saying, only available on the box. Now, they've all been previously released. It's just that in the formats that they were released, they're no longer available. What this comes from is there's 5 B-sides on here, 9 songs from soundtracks, 2 of them are international album bonus tracks, like when they put one out in Japan, there's a bonus song there. 3 of them come from a one-off best of compilation where she put 3 new songs on there from Time Spaces. Then there's an unreleased song from her box set that's on here. There was a retail exclusive track with Barnes & Nobles that's on here. One from a tribute album from Buddy Holly, and there is one new recording on here, albeit it is a cover of the Buffalo Springfield song For What It's Worth. Now, what I like about this, the rarities that are on here, is that they're not demos, they're not live. These are all fully completed, fully realized studio tracks, all previously available, as I said, in those different formats or different ways, except for the song For What It's Worth. This is making its first time on a collection from Stevie Nicks. Now, when I talked about these 2 albums, Belladonna and The Wild Heart, they each have a couple of these tracks on it. So Belladonna, this one here being the 3 CD deluxe edition of it. If you don't own it, they're really great. Blue Lamp is on here from the soundtrack to Heavy Metal, and Sleeping Angel from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Those 2 do appear on this rarities. Then The Wild Heart, which is a 2 CD deluxe edition, 2 of the tracks again appear on rarities. We have Violet and Blue from the Against All Odds soundtrack, and Garbo, which is a B-side. So 4 of the songs on rarities do appear or have been released recently, and if you're like me and you have these in your collection, then you do have that. Of course, if you're a completist and you own all those soundtracks and everything too, then you probably got these as well. But that still leaves 18 tracks that are not on her albums outright. And the disc of rarities covers this chronologically over 40 years, starting in 1981 with the song Blue Lamp that I mentioned from the Heavy Metal soundtrack, running through 2022. Most recent recording, it's the cover of the Buffalo Springfield song For What It's Worth. All right, so let's take a look at this thing. First of all, it is a bigger, oversized box, right? I would have expected the box of this thing to be the size of a disc, a CD. There's the spine of it, so it is a beautiful spine. Interesting, you know, the pose and the photo and everything. I've heard a few people mention that they think she looks like a pop star, you know, type of album they would do today, kind of a thing. And it's probably why they chose it and such a young image of her to try to make that relation, because she was a pop star at the time. Even rock was the popular form of music back in the 70s and then in through the 80s. So, but good spine on this thing, nice box. I like that it has these the edges that hang over it on it, so it's a little more than just an outright box. It's not a clamshell. It is a lift top, and it's like this, and it just opens up. No info or anything on the inside here. And unfortunately, there is no book inside, just this thin piece of paper here. All the CDs are in the middle, so that's why the box is bigger. They do pad the thing out well with some nice cardboard in there. I'll pull those out in just a moment, but this is on top, and I was so bummed when I opened it, and that was all I saw. There's no history, there's no story about the albums, there's no bigger information, there's no lyrics, there's no who produced the albums, there's no nothing. You get the Rhino Records information for the box set, but it's just such a missed opportunity. So I was very bummed about that. That was my first negative feeling on this. You do get all the albums. One thing that's cool is these are all done like vinyl replica gatefolds, kind of a thing. This is just a flimsy piece of paper. This is a little thicker, 2 parts of paper with the CD in the middle of it there. Now, as you saw when I open it, you get the lyrics there, but can anyone actually read that? Right? So it's nice that they're reproduced, because they certainly don't have that feel in the original jewel cases. So you are getting some very beautiful packaging on all of these. And I'm going to quickly just run through them. So like this one here that does not have the lyrics in it. When we go inside here, we get an insert sheet, and it has the lyrics. But once again, these things are micro tiny. So very cool that they reproduced these albums, you know, as close as possible to the original vinyl format. But as I said, you know, some of the stuff like this, again, there's the lyrics on the inside. So I can't say that they did not provide the lyrics. It's just I'm not going to be able to read that, or the production information, or who wrote you know, what track and that sort of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that I actually really like about it. So for me at least, I'm definitely going to be keeping my jewel case editions of these for all that sort of stuff. Now this album here, which was before the vinyl boom, doesn't have that sort of stuff because I don't think at the time this made it to vinyl. So this is another one where they actually include the lyric sheet inside. And you get that photo, which is pretty cool, but then you flip it over and it's like, oh my God, the information is just crammed together on there. So again, you know, nice that they have this, but you know, I don't know, just too small for me. So very quickly kind of wrap this up. Lyrical information in that one, 24 karat gold. This one also has the lyric sheet on the inside. This one here is even worse. I think it's the worst one of all because you got the background stuff on it, so really can't read anything there. And I'm not a big lyric person, so that's not the end of the world for me. All right, this was the whole reason I bought the box. It's the 2-disc rarities. So they're in one package. This has thicker cardboard on both of these things. There's no lyric sheet or anything. What it does have is that breakdown of where all the tracks come. So at least they gave it to you here. At least it was legible. That was how I was able to tell you the number of B-sides for soundtracks, where they come from, the fact that this is all chronological. But I think this is really cool. It's nicely done. I was able to pull this out on its own. I can put the box set away on my shelf and just have that. Now, I guess the big question is the box set worth you know, or the price? I paid $70 for this, the box set off of Amazon. So is this 2D CD set worth the 70 bucks? I think that is the big question here. The overall box set, as you know, as it is, I think it's great if you don't own the albums, right? That is the first thing. But if you're like me and you own the albums, then this really only becomes a thing about being a completist and wanting to have this. You get the 2 CD set of rarities, which, as I said, is why I bought it, because none of this stuff is live or demo. It rarely repeats anything from these 2 deluxe things I already have. So I really felt like I was getting 2 brand new albums from Stevie Nicks. And considering her last album, even the 24 karat gold, which this one here is really one and the same. It's like she's done 3 albums of rarities now. That one was 2014. And so that's been 9 long years before we finally get 2 discs worth of stuff here. And I didn't know all the stuff on soundtracks, so a lot of this is new for me, and that made it very worthwhile. If you head over to Renner Records website, they're charging $99, so $100 for this thing. I definitely shop around for it because, as I said, on Amazon it was $70 when I purchased it. That is a $30 savings, making it a lot more palatable, meaning each disc in here is 35 bucks. It's kind of like a Japanese import price, which I certainly would pay if there was an unreleased album put out over there. So I kind of rationalized it that way, at least for me. You're going to have to think about it on your own. If you want these albums and you feel that they're remastered and worth picking up for that, plus the fact that you get the cool packaging and 2 discs of rarities, then again, it's going to be worth it to you. As it is, for what it is, I think it's beautiful packaging. The only real downside here is that there is no book with it. I'm very bummed about that aspect of it. I do love the overall thing. I'm very happy with the rarities. It's beautiful sound quality, great tracks, the order and how they're arranged on there. There's probably a ton more stuff that didn't make this, I'm guessing, but it does have really good flow, even though it's chronologically ordered on here. So all in all, I'm very happy with this thing. Again, you're going to have to think about this and decide if it's totally worth picking up for you or not, and I'm going to leave that up to you. All right, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this review of the brand new Stevie Nicks box set, Complete Studio Albums and Rarities. There it is. Once again, certainly go check it out, see what you think. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.